it feel to have the response that you had from the return of the Proud Family and now a season 2?
Yeah, it feels great. I mean, it really sort of brings home what Ralph and I kind of thought when we did the show the first time around. The only real love we would get is when we'd be out at, Ralph say he'd be in the grocery store and talking. Somebody would talk about how they liked the show, and you'd just be on the street, and some of your friends would tell you this, that, and the other. So we never did really understand how it really landed for us in the Black community until social media. And then when social media got just that small whiff of the possibility of us coming back, it just blew up Black Twitter big time. And I think that really let Disney understand what they were holding on to.
So some people on Twitter are saying like they're glad the show came back, but they feel like it's being forced to be political or forced to talk about LGBTQ plus, ideals and things like that. And just kind of, what are you guys saying right now?
Well, I mean, we've always been topical, and so that's nothing new. That's just in our DNA. As it relates to our stance on LGBTQ, it's reality. We invited that. One of the big discussions in making the show was, hey, look within the African American community. We know it's an issue. Yeah, right. And so we're going straight at it. We know some people are for it, some people aren't, but we think it's our job to highlight that reality of our authentic experience. Okay, so that's what we're doing.
Yeah, our show is all about kind of telling the truth, right? I mean, that's what, we drop a lot of truth bombs and stuff like that in the room. So, and that's what makes the show honest, that keeps the show topical. That keeps the show and the conversation very specific to us, that a lot of people are just simply listening in on. I love that. I mean, I don't think there's any place in this industry that I would have been working on a project that has such a dynamic as the Proud Family.
Yeah, we invite that discussion. We really invite it.
What episode did everybody at the table not necessarily agree on, but you were like, listen, we got to do it?
Oh, wow, not agree on that. That's an interesting question. I don't know if there's an episode that we did not agree on, but in the coming season, on February 1st, when we drop, there's an episode where Penny and her crew have to, for the first time in this series, deal with racism and race amongst themselves. So it's how we grow. Look, I raise kids. We all grew up. A lot of us grew up in integrated neighborhoods, and we get to a certain age, and suddenly it becomes an issue, right? You can see it in your kids. You may have experienced it yourself, and so that was the one episode that invited a lot of discussion and raised a few eyebrows, not only in the writers' room but in the executive suites also.
Oh yeah, not only even in the executive suites, but also with the other projects within the studio. Because no one was telling stories like this. So when Ralph and I actually went and was just talking in general about the places that we're going to go with this show, the first 3 places were very familiar in terms of what the show was about and Proud. And then when we dropped that bomb in the room, I mean, you could tell the uncomfortable laughter that was coming from different pockets of the room. And we knew that's why we had to tell the story, just because of all this uncomfortable laughter.
I would love to know, and I have to speak on behalf of the people from 1996, will we get more dancing peanuts in this second season?
Yeah, I know, right? I know. You gotta watch February 1st when you can watch all the episodes, and that peanut question will be answered.
Yep, it's going to answer that. The peanut questions and a number of other questions are going to be answered in that particular episode.
Yes.